Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. The thoughts, views, and opinions on the Flow Show, no filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Wow. Happy thirsty Thursdays. Came in here very last second. I almost forgot my water. Y'all know on Thirsty Thursdays, we always remind each and everybody to drink their water like my parents used to do and my grandparents used to do when I was little. So I take a nice swig to start this little Thirsty Thursday off. Hey, Yari. I think it's Yari. You know, if I mess up y'all names, all y'all got to do is DM me and I will correct it. I believe in pronouncing names right, but if I don't know it, I kind of got to wing it on the fly. Yari said, good morning, Flo, and all the beautiful people. I finally get to watch you live. Excited as fuck. Always listen to you on Apple. I'm ready to hear who's getting cooked today and who's copying. I got you. Thanks for joining the Breakfast Crew. Good morning to all the Breakfast Crew in the building. Good morning, afternoon, evening, late night creep. Whenever you're listening to this on Apple and Spotify and all the other podcasts and sites, you know I love y'all, the community, my Facebook community. You know I love y'all, Instagram, TikTok. Always got a special place in my heart. I'm feeling good today. Got some stuff to catch up on with Diddy. We got some stories. I got some explanations on what's going on. Starting to get to the point where we kind of understanding what's going on now. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. I'm starting to understand what's going on now. We got to talk about that. So we got another actor that's coming out with a Diddy story we're going to have to talk about. If you're watching me, you see Kid Cudi behind me and Diddy. I'm going to talk about, go more into detail what went on with them and how this applies to the case. Anything else I had time for, I would, you know how we do. I'm going to squeeze it in there. No Diddy. And, we're going to cook today. I got my apron on, my stove mitten. We about to cook somebody, crock pot them, whatever we got to do. Thank y'all for joining me. I got announcements to make. It's a lot going on. Don't let me forget none of that. But I'm feeling good, y'all. And one thing about this job is if you want to be good at it, you can't give it, because if you worried about everybody's feelings, you won't never talk about nothing. You will never say nothing that means anything, because you be handling everybody with kid gloves. So this is a job that you gotta be built for this. I remember not too long ago, what was it about? Oh, his last birthday. It was my last birthday. So it was about a year from today. A year from today is when I really, I was already, telling my truths and all that, but I think a year ago today is, as far as in the content world, where I took a big step. And I started telling my story about when I was with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Y'all know I was a rapper, running around with Floyd and 50 Cent in their primes. So you can imagine why I am the way I am. Meaning, I seen a lot early on in my life. And 50 and Floyd is two people. If you had a chance to be around them in their prime and running around, you got some stories. But last year I started, so that was over 15, 16 years ago, or longer. It might be 18, 20 years. I don't know. Time, when you get old, everything is just 20 and 30 years. When you was a kid and people used to say, I remember you, old man, you'd be like, oh, where you get them? How long you had them shoes? Oh, I had these shoes for 20 years. So, when you get old, the time, just a long time ago, right? Stuff happened in Vegas. And, I went through a lot. I went through a lot with Floyd. I ain't never going to bash nobody. I had good times. I had bad times. If you know the story, I put it for the subscribers only. My mom was in a horrific fire, was caught on fire out in Vegas. She had just moved out there to come support me on my music dreams, and she wasn't even there a week and was in a full-fledged fire, broke her leg, arm, all kind of stuff happened. I don't want to go through that right now. If you want to check it out, it's on my subscriber only. I'm saying all that to say, when I started, I didn't tell any of my Vegas stories for a long time. I really didn't tell them until last year, because my fans that I had built up, and my following was getting so big, and people wanted to know my story. And I said, well, I'm talking about everybody else's story. I got to tell my people about my story. And so I started talking about my story. I said, how I survived. The name of the series is How I Survived Floyd Mayweather and Las Vegas, meaning being young and going out to Vegas and being with Floyd Mayweather. It was an experience. So as I start going chapter 1, chapter 2, Floyd team reached out to me, his right-hand man, and tried to, was like, well, Floyd, he want to know what you're talking about, or, he worried about what you're saying and this and that. Long story short, he reached out to me thinking that I was on some campaign to try to sue him, or because this is like around the Cassie and, the situation with Cassie, and it just, a lot of celebrities were getting sued. So Floyd thought I was building up some type of case or building something to so I could sue him and get millions for shit that happened to me back then, which wasn't even the case. I ain't built like that. I tell my story. I don't need nothing from no man. None. I get it from the mud myself. Anyway, he reached out to me, Mac, and I said, first of all, I could tell my story. And second of all, no, I'm not building up to try to sue or do no Cassie shit. I'm just telling my story, which I'm allowed to tell my story. If you're in my story, then you're getting told, I'm telling my story. Bottom line, I respect Floyd. I respect everybody, but Floyd would say stuff where I was in his story. I mean, this is how it go. And we had a little back and forth, but at the end of the day, I'm stand-up guy. They stand-up guys. And then once he found out that it wasn't no malicious intent behind me telling my story, or I wasn't going to come out saying nothing crazy or whatever, been cool ever since then. We had a couple times he reached out, but I'm telling y'all, I say all that to say that's the biggest difference between me and a lot of these other people doing what I do. I'm really in these trenches. These people that I'm talking about really will call me or get in contact with me and want to question me because they really know me. I really know them. So I'm letting y'all know, like, it's a different level when I'm speaking. I'm not speaking from behind a computer and none of these people know me, or I don't know them. They know my mama. I know them. I know their mama. I know their sister, so it's a whole different dynamic. So when you listen to my podcast, it's sort of like when you're watching the NBA or you're watching the NFL and you got like a Shannon Sharp, or you got players who used to play talking about the game, and they could give you a little more insight because they was there. So I was really in the game. So I'm just letting y'all know, your boy be going through some shit when I'm up here using this, talking on his mic. But it's all good because you know what? Even Floyd or anybody, they all respect me because I'm not up in there. I'm not up here being malicious. I'm up here covering stories, covering facts, and leaving it at that. I don't have no agenda. I'm not out to get nobody. I'm here to do my thing. So let's get started. To give y'all a little intro to what I'm really doing. So like when I ask y'all to subscribe, this is why I'm saying subscribe. I'm up here standing 10 toes, and these people really hit me up and ask me about it. And I got to stand up and tell them what the real is. So we're going to continue, and let's get into this Diddy mess. So we all know Diddy is cooked. He's in prison right now, waiting on his court date. We all waiting. We almost getting there. Seemed like this court date was never going to come. And so now I'm getting a chance to really dig into the indictment, kind of reflect on those stories, bring them up so we can discuss them. And the more I was reading it, I said, why ain't more people really digging in on this one particular story and this one particular allegation, which is it was in Cassie's lawsuit we all know Cassie sued Diddy, and we know the outcome of that for 30 million for all type of crazy stuff that went on. Well, it's a story and an allegation and an indictment, which is in the federal indictment, that I think needs to be, they need more attention on it. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about this gentleman behind me, if you're watching me, Kid Cudi and Diddy. Now, before I get into the actual story and article about it, let me give you a little context. During Diddy and Cassie had a rough patch. During that rough patch, Cassie started talking to and dealing with Kid Cudi. Diddy ended up allegedly blowing up Kid Cudi's car over Cassie. And then there was kidnapping and gunpoint and all type of stuff in this story. But let's break this down, because I don't think people paying enough attention to this one, because this ain't no rumor. This was known. And also, let me give y'all some more context. Remember, I told y'all about Shaker, how it's a kind of famous school, or just it's known, and we pumped out a lot of talent out of Shaker High School. Shout out Shaker High School, the Red Raiders, where I went. One of those people that you might know that also went to Shaker was Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was up there. And so he blew this man's car. So when people ask me and say, I don't get into too much, I tell y'all what we talk about, but I don't sit up here and tell you every single thing. I don't have time. But when it comes up, I'll let you know what's going on. Kid Cudi went to the same high school as me, Shaker Heights High School. Good dude. Kid Cudi is just like me, diverse, hangs with all kind of different people. It don't matter your race, it don't matter your religion, it don't matter nothing. Kid Cudi will hang with you. Kid Cudi always was cool. He was quiet in school, but just a cool dude, right? And he from where I'm from. So Diddy blows his car up. You think I don't? You don't think I got some animosity towards Diddy? So when I tell people, when they like, man, why you bringing the black man down? Well, what about him bringing down Kid Cudi and setting his car on fire and exploding it? And that's my dog. You know, if you went to Shaker or you from Cleveland, you know I'm gonna rock with you. So I tell people I got all type of incentives outside of just covering it on this particular case. Diddy has done foul stuff to people who I know are cool. Kid Cudi don't bother nobody. And Diddy, what did I tell y'all? I hate bullies. He gonna blow his car. He gonna blow his car up. He wouldn't blow up 50 Cent car though. See, that's what I'm saying. The true definition of a bully. Kid Cudi don't bother anybody. I know this for a fact. Cool dude, you love Kid Cudi. He one of us. And didn't do nothing wrong. Cassie wanted to talk to whoever she had a right to talk to whoever she wanted to talk to, but you a bully, Diddy, so you blew his car up. And now it was at a time where Diddy thought he was untouchable. But now the feds is digging in. And it's so much went on in this incident that Diddy is cooked for real. Spoiler alert, even Kid Cudi said it happened. He ain't got no reason to lie. Kid Cudi is straight. He's set for life. His name is etched, and he like me. He in his own lane. He don't give a damn about being the biggest star or whatever. Like, he care about his life and what he doing. That's why I respect and I like Kid Cudi. And for Diddy to be bullying him and doing what he did to him, especially being somebody from my own area, it's just one more reason why I don't fuck with Diddy, and anybody mad about it can kick rocks with flip-flops. So let's continue. I got this from Forbes. I told you, I always try to spread it around on the publications. John Diddy Combs may have firebombed Kid Cudi's car, according to charges. Now, if you know about the indictment, it says in there, it doesn't say Kid Cudi name, but everybody knows it lines totally up to what happened with Kid Cudi. And in the indictment, it says Diddy is being charged with arson, kidnapping, etc. This is where a lot of that comes from. So let's dig into this. And another thing, you know how the witnesses they want to testify anonymous, a lot of witnesses, and Diddy is fighting for those witnesses not to be testified. I mean, not to be anonymous. If you Kid Cudi could possibly be one of those people. I'm starting to think about it. It ain't the regular people that's probably really, really paranoid about showing who they are. The more I think about it, it's these celebrities probably. And think about it. Diddy wants them to have to reveal themselves. He don't want Kid Cudi, for example, to be able to testify under an anonymous testimony and bring all type of evidence and all type of condemning shit to Diddy. He wants to be exposed. He wants everybody to know who they are. And so you blow my car up, I'm testifying. So I'm pretty sure Kid Cudi is on that list. But let's dig into this because the devil is in the details. And I didn't realize so much more went on at this time than the car bomb. So let's get into this. You're going to be surprised unless you know about some of this stuff already. You're going to be surprised. Check this out. So prosecutors allege the embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs set fire to a car owned by an unnamed victim between December 2011 and January 2012. Now, this mirrors the allegation that Cassie said in her lawsuit, where she said Kid Cudi's car was blown up by Diddy. So let's get into this. Let's go over the facts. Key facts in this situation. Prosecutors accuse Combs in a memo filed with the New York judge of kidnapping an unarmed individual with a co-conspirator to break into the residence of another unnamed individual referred to as Individual 1. That's Kid Cudi. Now, prosecutors allege Combs' co-conspirators set fire to Kid Cudi's vehicle about 2 weeks later, in which the co-conspirators allegedly cut open the top of the convertible and dropped a Molotov cocktail inside. Prosecutors say police and fire department officials concluded the fire was intentionally set, and multiple witnesses allegedly testified Combs had bragged about setting fire to the car. And he sure was bragging back in these times. I remember 2011, 2012. I thought it was the craziest thing ever, and I couldn't believe Diddy was able to get away with it at that time. I didn't know it would come back to bite him 15, 12 years later, whatever the math is. Another thing, in Cassie's November lawsuit, Ventura said she had a brief relationship with rapper Kid Cudi, whose real name is Scott Muscudi, during a rough patch in her relationship with Combs in 2011, allegedly causing Combs to become enraged. Let me tell you. And he came at Ventura with a corkscrew in his hand about Diddy. Tell me this guy got bully tendencies like crazy. Ventura alleged Combs said in February, several weeks after the incident, prosecutors detailed in their memo he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, stating his car exploded in his driveway right around that time. And you got some assholes talking about ain't no evidence. Okay. Representatives for Kid Cudi confirmed. Listen up. Open up your ears on this one, y'all. Representatives for Kid Cudi confirmed Cassie's account of the incident with a simple quote: "This is all true." A spokesperson for the rapper Kid Cudi commented. Now, let's go back. Didn't Terrence Howard had a crazy Diddy story talking about Diddy tried to fuck him for disguised as acting lessons. We got another actor that we're gonna get to after Kid Cudi that has allegations, nasty allegations when it comes to the diddler. And so I'm starting to line up these people because I said, you know what? It's a lot of people that kept talking about people want money. They're just doing it for clout. Well, so let's start focusing on some of these witnesses that don't need no clout, that don't need no money, like a Terrence Howard, like a Kid Cudi. So now you tell me why they lying. For all the people out there that's saying, you know, when it was the victims were no names and people who were regular people who checked the check, they would scream they want money and clout. But when Kid Cudi says it happened, or Columbus Short, who we're gonna get to later from Stump the Yard, when they say it happened, it's just silence. It's crickets. Because you can't use that lazy ass excuse on these people. Which is why this episode and these couple episodes, I want to focus on it because I'm tired of that same old tired ass excuse of people want clout and money. Nah, people just want to be left the fuck alone, and people want you to keep your hands to yourself. That's what people want. You the one want money. So talking about Diddy. So check it out. This is what else Cassie alleged. So this is what happened. Cassie says in her lawsuit, Combs had discovered her brief relationship with Kid Cudi during a freak-off, in which prosecutors described in their indictment as coerced. So during a coerced freak-off, this is when Diddy found out about Kid Cudi. So it's a freak-off going on, baby oil everywhere, dirty liquor everywhere, and they found out about Kid Cudi. She said in this particular freak-off, Diddy used elaborate force, threats of force, and coercion to cause all the victims engaged in this freak-off to extend sex acts with male sex workers. Ventura alleged Combs had demanded she participate in this particular freak-off after he returned from a trip, and she acquiesced. During the freak-off, Ventura alleged Combs found her phone and discovered emails that had been shared between Cassie and Kid Cudi. I don't even have to tell you what went on next, but I will, because this is the Flow Show, no filter. After discovering these emails, it prompted Diddy to lunge at Cassie with a corkscrew. Cassie escaped. Guess where she headed to? Kid Cudi's house. Combs' staff contacted Cassie, and told her that Combs needed to talk to her immediately. And she acquiesced. She returned home to Combs. Feeling like she could not escape his network of enforcers, she felt like, I got to go back. Now, then Cassie alleged Combs hit her several times and kicked her in the back as she attempted to run out the door after she returned home. So you got workers harassing Cassie while she was gone with Kid Cudi, living their best life. They tell her that they tell her Puff needs to talk to her, aka Diddy needs to talk to her. She gets back to the house. And he talks with his fists and his feet and his knees and any other trifling thing he can do. Kicked in the back. She attempted to run out the door, kicked her again. Then Cassie fled to her parents' home in Connecticut, where her mother took pictures of the bruises Combs had allegedly inflicted on her. That is when Combs told Cassie while they attended Paris Fashion Week in February 2012 that he wanted to blow up Kid Cudi's car. Now, stop 1 second. Had we not seen Diddy do exactly what's described here, we saw him do it in 4K. We saw him do it on that infamous hotel footage that was leaked or whatever. We saw it. You saw it. Had we not seen that video, these same Mohawk Diddy little fuckers would have been saying, she just lying and she just making it up. It's just a money grab. But since we got that video, we know this shit true. But this is what I'm trying to tell these little jerks. You seen the proof. You seen it in real time. And that's the same thing with a lot of these other allegations. The only difference is wasn't no fucking camera roll. And Diddy said this whole lawsuit that Cassie was had put forth was all a money grab. He didn't know the fucking video was about to get leaked. He said nothing in her lawsuit was true. He never put hands on her. Blah, 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 blah. And then the fucking videotape came out, and then he came with that old sad puppy, fake ass crocodile tear apology. So shit like that is when makes me look at you hard. Like when you already caught in a bold-faced lie, I'm gonna start assuming that you lying about a lot of stuff. So let's go back to this Paris Fashion Week when he told Cassie he wanted to blow up Kid Cudi's car. And he also said he hoped that the rapper and his friends would be home to see the incident. So after the car allegedly exploded, Cassie said she was terrified as she began to fully comprehend what Mr. Combs was both willing and able to do to those he believed had slighted him. Diddy. Now, another thing that went on, in order for this to happen, they kidnapped and held someone at gunpoint in order to even gain access into Kid Cudi's home to set this whole blowing up the car gate. This whole blowing up the car situation was all plotted out. It was planned out. It took weeks to carry out. But it all started, the whole start to even getting to the point to putting the stuff and setting the car on fire, they had to hold someone at gunpoint and have them let them into the residence and set this whole just crazy episode. To set this whole crazy episode up, they went through all that, and all of that is in the indictment. Now you tell me, these feds, they got the co-conspirators, which is why they're not naming them. They done flipped on Diddy. You got Kid Cudi saying it happened. You got Cassie saying it happened. How the hell you beat that? Because the only person in this whole scenario that got a motive to lie is Diddy. Kid Cudi free. Cassie free. The co-conspirators are free. So when people when they say they ain't got no evidence, I wonder, are they able to read? Because it's all in the indictment. I ain't doing nothing special. I'm just reading. I'm just reading the indictment. That's all. Nothing spectacular. But it's so much evidence just in the indictment alone. It's just sick. And then that brings us to another actor. Even though Kid Cudi is a rapper and an actor, mainly a rapper. But we're going to get to this other actor that told a story that shows us he will, and I'll say he, I mean Mohawk Diddy, will put something in your drink. Also, this next story will detail and confirm what Terrence Howard said about him using acting lessons and trying to put the moves. I don't know what. Diddy has a thing for actors, I'm starting to find out. I don't know what it is. He might have a fetish. I don't freaking know. But now, as we get more and more evidence, you got to dig back and go back to previous evidence that we long forgot about. This is stories that I already told that went viral that kind of got lost in the sauce because so much happened since a year ago. So check this out. This guy, actor Columbus Short, you know him from Stomp the Yard. He's gonna talk about how Diddy had tried to groom him and how Diddy slipped something in his drink. So let's check this out. And let's break this down.
So this went on for about a year. Any parties he had? I didn't know that there was other parties. Yeah. I wasn't at the party. I was at the big party. And then Diddy called me one day after I did Cadillac Records. He came to the premiere of Cadillac Records in New York. And he was like, man, you killed that. He said, I'm up for this movie or this show. It was a movie, Raisin in the Sun. Yeah. He's like, I need an acting coach, man. So I put him with my acting coach. Okay. Since I was a kid. Yeah. My acting coach, big shout out, Josh Patton. Wonderful, phenomenal acting coach. And he started working with him. Diddy was on a series for a little bit. And then he was working. So he was always looking out. So I think it was just now looking back, it's like the groomage, right? Yeah. So I was the BET Awards were happening in town. I didn't go because I wasn't nominated. So I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not nominated. Right. I'm just sitting up like, I'm in the crib. So about 2:30 in the morning, 2:15, 2:30 in the morning, phone ring. This is unknown number. I don't answer unknown numbers. But my wife looking at me like, yeah. Who is that? Yeah. I don't know about this.
So Diddy, this an actor. Diddy been trying to put the moves on him a little bit. He says he got home. He was at home one night, laid up in the bed with his wife. Not a care in the world. 2:30 in the morning, he gets an unknown call. He say he normally don't answer unknown calls, but when you get an unknown call at 2:30 in the morning and you laying there with your wife, your ass better answer it. Or your ass might as well get the hell out the house. And so this is what happened. If the unknown call happened to be the diddler.
I put it on speaker.
He said he put it on speaker.
I said, who is it? I'm like, Sean, it's Pop. Oh, it's good. Talking low like that. Wow. So I was like, hey, what's good? I said, what's great? He said, we didn't see you tonight at the BET Awards. We didn't see you tonight. He said, I'm checking in. He said, what you doing? I said, oh man, I'm at the crib. He said, oh yeah, we over here at the he said, I'm over here at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I said, oh, for real? I said, who over there? Just me. Come on, man. He said, you serious? He said, just me. So my wife, the suspect list. What the hell? I'm in bed, man. I'm good. He's like, I just hung up. Did he ever give you sign? Did you ever give him any sign? No. What's what? So I'm like, man, I got smoke in my house. My wife, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, so anyway, so you know, people when I posted that on IG, people was like, you know, the comments was like, but did you go?
So that's part one of that clip. We're gonna break this whole, you know, I'm hold your hand, we about to go on a little walk. But look, so what man calls another man 3 a.m. and tell him he at the hotel? Diddy called him and said he at the hotel, come through, and Columbus Short said, oh, okay, all right, who there? Diddy said, just me. Now the Columbus Short said his wife looking at him crazy. He looking at he tell Diddy, you know, hell dog, or I don't know if he said hell dog, but he played it off. But the crazy part is, now he was trying to put the moves on him just like Terrence Howard. Ain't no dude, any dude, ain't no dude calling another guy at 3 a.m. talking about come through to the hotel and it's just me. I don't even got to go into details on that. Everybody just need to use common sense on that. But this is the crazy part. He then went to a party, one of Diddy's parties. And it was almost like, since Diddy wasn't able to get him then, he figured out a way to get him. Check this out.
So this went on for about a year. One time. And did not I escaped. Well, it's not, that sounds dramatic, but but I was, you know, I'm an arts kid, so let me give some context. You know, growing up in art school, you know, in high school, it was the first time I saw like men, like boys, like they're like we was in junior year, like going together, like holding hands in school and kissing and stuff. I was like, but I didn't want to judge them. They were talented. You know what I mean? And so there was this understanding and what is it called? You know, just non-judgment. Yeah. So I was always been, you know, non-judgment about people's sexuality. But, you know, people that you see that you would not assume, you know, doing compromising things. Right. You know what I'm saying? Booed up. You know, you my brother. I ain't gonna boo up with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You my brother. You don't do this. You're never gonna be sitting too close on the couch. No. When me and you just want to go catch a Marvel movie, nigga, we gotta have a seat in the middle. We gonna have to have a seat. We some slides. So I'm seeing some things, and I was like, man, and you know, so I used to drink a lot. Like I could drink a bottle of tequila by myself, and I got invited to the thing, but I had to drink all day. And so this is now it's night. It's like 11:30, 12. There was only about 14, 15 people in there, but some people. And it was like, Columbus, did you get Columbus? I only drink one thing, tequila. And they're like, oh, get this. Oh, we got the sweetest tequila. So I was like, all right, you get a shot. So I'm over here, like, we chopping it up. I take my shot. I'm like, pretty smooth. We chopping it up. 5 minutes go by, 7 minutes go by. Something wrong. Something wrong.
So he's at Diddy's party. It's about 12, 15 people there, a little private party or whatever. Somebody asked him, one of Diddy's people asked him, what you drinking? He said tequila. Now, mind you, he wasn't able to get Diddy before. Diddy wasn't able to get him before. Now he got him on his turf. And we all know about what happened when Diddy passed you a drink. We've heard lawsuit after lawsuit, even in the indictment. So now He takes a sip. Now, he a drinker. That's why he letting you know he a drinker. So for him, he say when he took a drink and immediately first drink, he started feeling crazy. He knew something wasn't right. I'm gonna shut up.
Something was in your drink. Something wrong. I'm getting dizzy. I'm trying on one shot. So I'm trying to stay focused. You know what I'm hearing, but it's going on. I'm like, I start getting a little sweaty. I was like, oh, something wrong. I gotta find. I was like, I played it cool. House in Atlanta. So I'm like, walking down the hallway, look like the Starship. I go to the bathroom and I put my finger down my throat. You knew. And my manager was with me, so he kicked me in the door. Cool, short, you all right? I was like, bro, I don't know, bro. It's like, son. He's like, the driver's still outside. Let's go. So we go out, and they all met us in like the vestibule. They're like, hey, you good? Show up. I'm chill. Just relax. I'm like, no, I just like, no, I'm fine. I got to be upset early in the morning. Boom, getting that SUV. Let's get out of here. So, that was the night that being an alcoholic saved my life. My booty hole.
So check it out. He was spiked the drink. The only way he said he was able to survive and get out of there is he went in the bathroom, put his finger down his throat, and kept choking himself until it made him throw up whatever was in that drink and throw that drink up, and he got the hell out of there. And he said being an alcoholic that night being an alcoholic actually saved his booty hole. And these was his words, not mine. But I brought that up to say, especially after that Terrence Howard stuff came out, Columbus Short is another person. He ain't sued. He ain't suing. He ain't getting no clout. And newsflash, it ain't no more clout. Diddy, the clout days is different. Is gone. People do not actually even want to be mentioned in the same breath as Diddy. So people admitting shit or telling stories is really just kind of like when I told my story for the first time last year about all the shit I went through. Sometimes you just want to get that shit out. Everybody ain't telling a story for money. I didn't tell my story for money. But when I told my story about Vegas with Floyd, I didn't tell it for no money. I could have said all kind of stuff and promoted the hell out of it if I was trying to make money off of it. People got to realize everybody don't kiss ass for $1 or sell themselves short or sell themselves out for $1. And so you listen to that story. This is an actor in movies we all know. This ain't somebody we don't know that's chasing clout. Diddy call him at 3 a.m? What are you calling him at 3 a.m. for? And if you had any reservations about that before, after Terrence Howard, another person who has no reason to lie, comes out and tell his story, well, now all these stories start to sound like they make some sense. So the more I think about Diddy and his attorneys wanting these witnesses to be revealed, I've always been more in the mindset of thinking about the regular people like you and me who maybe just may have been afraid of Diddy. And I was thinking it was more about them. But the more I start digging in and I start looking at what Kid Cudi said, Columbus Short, Terrence Howard, and this, I'm sure, is way more people than that. But I started looking at what they saying. I said, you know what? I know what's going on. You know what's going on with this with the Diddy's lawyers and what they're trying to do. They don't want all of these celebrities because the celebrities are the ones mainly that don't want to put their name in it, don't want to get dirty by playing in the mud. And so it would be much easier for the celebrities that are involved that are going to come and tell their testimony. It would be a lot easier for them if they were anonymous, because then they wouldn't have to worry about backlash or just being involved in the story, or even, because people would be like, well, you was there, and start blaming the people who are speaking out. And then if you go back to Diddy, see, Diddy don't want that. Diddy don't want these celebrities, say like a Columbus Short or Kid Cudi, to just be anonymous and be able to tell everything that went on, all of this nasty shit. Here he is basically saying Diddy spiked his drink. He had to go in the bathroom and make himself throw up to get out of there. Diddy need help. Diddy need help. Story after story after story. Same pattern. Spiked drinks. Intimidation. Threats. Murder. When they say in the superseding indictment that some key witnesses are dead, we don't know what they mean exactly by that. But the media, national media, mainstream media, old school media, whatever we want to call them, ain't talking about none of this stuff. I'm reading this. It's so much in the indictment, y'all, that is not being talked about. Like I said, for example, if it's key witnesses in this case that are dead, how the fuck is we not talking about that and inquiring about that? Are they dead from old age? Are they dead mysteriously? Can we get some details? Because it could just be me, but ain't that important info? So again, which is why we have to support our unbiased media platform. This is a good reason. All type of crazy shit is in this indictment. And if you turn on TMZ and CNN, they talking about the same old gossipy bullshit. As if they don't even read the indictments. I don't know. Am I the only one that actually read the paperwork? Because as I'm reading, I'm like, why ain't nobody talking about this? Why ain't nobody talking about that? Why ain't you talking about this? Like, it's crazy. Like, I thought it wasn't the real paperwork. I'm like, key witness is dead. Don't you think the public should kind of know that and not, like, someone should talk about that? So I appreciate everybody who subscribes. Like I told y'all, this platform wouldn't even exist without our subscribers, and no platform like it will exist without the subscribers. And I've been preaching that for months and months and months now, only because I figured it out. Y'all know we started this podcast October 30th, 2024. But by January, February, I had figured it out. I said, you know what? It was like January, New Year's. I said, you only got two options. You either gonna be supported by your community, by your subscribers, or you're not gonna be able to talk about this shit as a podcaster if you want to make a living. And so that day is when I started letting y'all know, because I didn't even ask for subscribers. Because I'm the type of person, I'm not asking for no money until I got a plan and it's needed. I don't need nobody. I'm not asking nobody for extras at all. So January 1st, I said, okay, we got to subscribe, and people start subscribing, and we on our way. We got a long way to go on the subscriptions, but y'all are doing an amazing job. So then fast forward to now. The other day, I broke the news that you got huge podcasts, been around for 10 plus years, millions and millions of followers and listeners, way bigger than me. They're just now finding out what I found out January 1st, after only being in this game 2 months. And so if you know Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden's podcast, and Adam No Jumper podcast, they spoke out on this, and it was, and I like it because it doesn't do anything but explain the same thing that I was explaining to you guys. And I'm glad most of y'all understood what I was getting at and stepped up right to the plate and started subscribing and understood this ain't no sales pitch. This ain't no, I'm trying to squeeze nobody for money. That ain't even my style. But this is what's needed if we want to continue to cover this news and talk about this news candidly. So I'm looking for the clip right now that I want to play y'all that explains kind of what I was talking about. I'm having trouble pulling up, but anyway, let me thank, while I'm looking for it, let me thank today's subscriber of the day, who we appreciate, and we owe it to this subscriber for stepping up and coming to the plate and supporting the movement. So subscriber of the day is phone acting a little crazy today, y'all. Don't mind me. But this is the favorite part of the show to me, because this is the whole reason. Anybody that hasn't subscribed but you're listening and enjoying it, thank these people, because without these people, we wouldn't be able to have this good time we have every morning and cover these important cases. So subscriber of the day today with a $5 donation as a subscription. This person subscribed for $5 when we only asked for $3. So we really appreciate you, Jamie Ramkasoon, aka Just J. So clap it up. Clap it up for Just J. Just J, we appreciate you at the Flow Show No Filter for understanding that we need you. We need all our subscribers so that we are able to continue on this path and continue giving you the news, keeping truth alive, whatever you can. This is amazing. And like I said, I like when, like I told you, I don't like to be a salesman. I don't like used car salesman. I don't do none of that. I don't want to come up with a creative way to trick you and come up with a great commercial to trick you out of subscribing, or just, make you spend your money. I like to just give you the facts, because it feels better when I give you the facts and people subscribe. It feels better because they understand what I'm saying, and they appreciate my content, and they understand that this is what it's going to take for us to have a platform like this so that we can talk about what's really going on. And when I play you what other blogs or other podcasts are saying, it's only to co-sign what I'm saying, and it's receipts. Y'all know I like receipts. So as you know, Joe Budden is the godfather of the podcast game. He's been in the podcast. He was one of the first ones, one of the most successful ones. Well, he just recently dropped the same knowledge that I dropped. I want y'all to hear from these people. And the person who's covering it is also another person that they're pulling in probably millions and millions of views, a huge YouTube channel. His name is Poetic Flacco. But they all are understanding what I've already understood and what we already are doing. But I want you to hear it from them. Check this out. If this don't tell you how important subscribers are to podcasts, ain't nothing gonna tell you. Check this out.
I really took this advice to heart. So I want y'all to hear this. We started talking about the Snapchat and YouTube and Instagram checks. Yo, check out when niggas start talking like that too. We built this thing in a way where the paranoia and trauma from leaving our fate in somebody's hands won't allow us to leave it in somebody's hands. So clap to you if you leave it in somebody's hands and it's going great for you. But one day Facebook wake up and say, hey, our Metavision shit, we're not doing it no more. That money you was making is out of here. It's over. We're finished. One day YouTube wake up and say, hey, you're not in our little creator fund program where we're sending shit your way. You're done. We're not even putting you in the algorithm. One day Snapchat, TikTok, one day they all wake up and say, you can't plan that way. That's true. It's tough to look the fucking estate people in the face, the tax people in the face, and say, hey, I don't know that next year. I don't know that 5 years from now, these companies will still hold me in such high regards. They leave fast. I really hope y'all held on to every word Joe just said. Because this right here, to me, will probably be the difference between the content creators who you see still doing content in 5 to 10 years and the content creators who are not doing content in 5 to 10 years. When we put our lives on YouTube, on Instagram, on these platforms, man, and the thing that they can just take it away like this is absurd. So what Joe is speaking towards is building a direct-to-consumer model, taking away the middleman like YouTube, et cetera, right? Now, Joe got a deal with Patreon, so where Joe is actually like creative director, so he's actually on Patreon. But in terms of being paid, right? Joe is saying, have the consumers pay you directly, right? Instead of getting paid off of ad revenue, have them give you their $5 a month. Instead of taking the money from, let's say, the Snapchat show, have your own website and have them pay you directly for your shorts. And to me, that's a model that makes sense. And essentially, what Joe is saying is use this YouTube, use the Snapchat, use the Instagram, use the algorithm essentially as ads. Use it as ads. But the ads should be for something that you own.
I'm going to stop it right there. And that's the Flow Show No Filter. And that's just a break that, like I said, I like to get facts. Ain't no salesman here. Subscribe. Not just to me. I'm saying any podcast that's covering unbiased news, that's bringing you information that they don't want us talking about. Subscribe to them, man. They need it. We need it. It ain't extra. You hearing it from people who got channels and podcasts 100 times bigger than me. But I figured it out early and I figured it out quick because I'm smart and I always think ahead. And I'm always thinking about how can I do this forever? Because y'all know, I told y'all, I would never want to wake up in the morning and get on this mic and talk about fluff stuff and bullshit. It wouldn't be no motivation for me. So I was already thinking, in January 1st, I said, how can I make it where I could do this forever and I could keep talking about what I'm talking about without worrying about somebody telling me to shut up or telling me I can't say that. Only way I could do that is if I build a good subscriber base. And we started in January and y'all have answered the call. And I greatly appreciate it. But like I always tell y'all, I like to bring receipts. I don't want y'all to just hear it from me. I was kind of happy that bigger blogs came out and are coming out and saying how important that is. So I say all that to say thank you to all the subscribers out there. Y'all really making this thing go and allowing me to continue to bring y'all the news and continue to cover it and ramp up for this Diddy trial. I am going to have the best Diddy coverage for the trial. It ain't even going to be close. Y'all, I think y'all kind of already know that. But let me just put that in the atmosphere for anybody else out there that think they can touch me, because they can't. Like I said, 100,000 downloads put me in the top 5% of all podcasts. I did that in 4 months without one fucking guest. I don't even know if it's any other podcast that could say that, especially new ones. So again, thank you. And then before we get out of here, I'm gonna add this segment. This is called What Flo Forgot. Because y'all know sometimes I forget. But one thing about I forget, I might forget right now, but I don't forget forever. And it's gonna come back to me. And so what I forgot about yesterday is this particular subscriber. I jacked her name all up. Like I told y'all, if I say your name wrong, reach out to me through inbox, through fan mail, whatever, and I will correct it because I believe in people name. My name, everybody's names means a lot to them, and I'm not one of those people just say your name any kind of way, and if you correct me, so what? No, I'm gonna come right back on this bitch, and I'm gonna say this name correct. So the subscriber that I jacked her name up, that came in my thing, I'm gonna try to say it right this time because she spelled it. She gave me the little symbol, the little spell out to tell you how to say it. So here I'm gonna try it again. So this subscriber is Vanessa. I was saying all kind of stuff. So Vanessa, thank you for subscribing. And if I said it right, let me know. I'm pretty sure the way you spelled it out for me, that's how you say it. So I apologize for that. And also, another thing I want to announce, if you're having problem accessing the Apple podcast for the subscription only content, all you have to do is email buzzsprout@support.com. They will get back to you and fix it. They fixed it for and showed people how to do it on many other occasions. They are a great company. That's one thing I do like about them. They respond. They're humans. They ain't bots. So if you have any issue with the subscriptions, just email. And the email is also in my in the notes. So email buzzsprout@support.com. And another thing, I'm also going to start trying to read more of my fan mail live since I can't reply to y'all in the fan mail. I will, at the end of every show, I'm going to try to address some stuff or just, sometimes people just making statements in the fan mail. I just read it. But check this out. This is what I love about this community we build. Because it's people from everywhere. And I've been telling y'all that, but none like receipts, right? So check this out. Another subscriber. Name was Debrat. I said, I don't know what Debrat it is, but if you subscribe in here, you are the real Debrat. Because whoever you are, you real for subscribing. I said that yesterday. So Debrat left a voice, a fan mail. That was kind of cool. And it just shows what type of community we're building and how wonderful it is. And everybody's enjoying it. I enjoy it. I love y'all. I don't mind telling y'all everything that's going on because I trust y'all. Y'all let me come up here and say everything. Y'all know I'm just giving y'all my raw emotions, my raw thoughts. Sometimes you're going to disagree with me. Sometimes I'm going to say some shit that might rub somebody the wrong way, but at least you know I'm genuine and I ain't never pandering or just saying anything. And I love y'all because y'all let me just do that without judging. And I'm the same way with y'all. But check this out. So guess who Debrat is? Debrat, and this is her this is her words, not mine. Hi Flo, Debrat is an old white scientist whose last name is Brat. She is just like you, a Gen Xer that is still fly, and finally, her best quality is getting the name before Debrat on Instagram and all other socials. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And I like it. I like it. I love it, Debrat. And that's what I'm saying. You don't never know who listening to the Flow Show No Filter. We got old white scientists that resonated and feel close to this community because we all cut from the same cloth. Yeah, we them Gen X's. Yeah, we getting old, but it's still a lot of tread left on this tire, baby. It's still a lot of miles left on this engine. I might be old, but I don't feel old. And I think that's a theme of our whole community. We still got some spunk in us. So I appreciate Debrat for leaving that in the fan mail. Never knew an old white scientist. Love the Flow Show No Filter. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I got some more Diddy, another Diddy story to break for you tomorrow that I think y'all going to enjoy. It's so much going on in the news. I pretty much think we're going to have a really good show tomorrow because there's a couple of things I want to talk about, but I'm waiting for some information to come in today so I can really go in on it and cook whoever need to be cooked. And as I always say, look, we're going to do what we do. Keep truth alive. Bye. As always, I love y'all, but I'm out. Boom, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. 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 Do, 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 do. What's up, y'all? Breakfast crew. What it do? Let me get this thing together. We about to get Apple and Spotify loaded up. Y'all know the drill. How's everybody doing? I'm glad. Thanks for rocking with me today. Had a good show. I enjoyed it on this Thirsty Thursday. Man, time be flying. Is it the flow show no filter? What makes the time go so fast? Is it the show? These weeks out, it's the after show. The after show. Let's go. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. This thing, man, what's wrong with this? Okay, there we go. I had to catch up with the chat. Y'all moving so fast, I can't even get down to the bottom. So let's go, y'all. Let's get Apple and Spotify loaded up. How y'all feeling today? Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Apple and Spotify. Let's get this thing processing and get the hell. Oh, shoot. Okay, today is the 10th. Yes, today is the 10th. All right, I'm back. We got all the likes. We got all the likes, Mona. Mona, you at work? You already part of the Flow Army now? And I like it. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Gina. Gina says, I love the show. Keep doing what I'm doing, bro. Thank you, Gina. Glad you enjoy it. Thank you, Lauren. My YouTube secret weapon. Lauren is my YouTube secret weapon. We got to get our likes. We got to get our likes. Oh, you at work? Okay, Mona. Mona put in overtime for us. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Feeling good today. Go outside. I ain't moving yet. Oh, you're right, though. I do got to go outside because it's acting up. Here we go. You're right about that. I'm gonna have to take this show on the road. Give me 1 second. I wonder is my buddy out there. Let's see. Okay, this is looking better now. Let's go. What up, Felix? Hey, look, Yari is funny. I like Yari, y'all. Yari already funny. Dang, my bird buddy ain't out here. I'm trying to find the get the it's still the whatchamacallit is still down. Let's just see. Let's give it a second. I'm just gonna give it a second and relax. Indiana in the house, y'all. Hey, no, they not. They ain't. The chickens ain't fucking. Hey, Yari. Hey, Yari. We all have. Hey, look, Yari, part of the family already. Nice to have you, Yari. Yari says she be cracking up. Let me read her message. I didn't even really read it. I just saw she said she be cracking up. Oh no, not yet. Hey, look, no, Jan, I ain't been on the porch. Let me give you, hey Jenna, let me give you some background. I'm one of those, when I go on the porch, I have to have everything done before I go to the porch. I can't like go to the porch and then do no podcast or do no videos. I can't do it. I gotta go to the porch after everything done. Then I can go to the porch. I can't function. I can't go to the porch and function like that. I wasn't given that talent. All right, Patricia. Everybody say bye to Patricia. Everybody say bye to Patricia, y'all. She out of here. Hey, what's going on? Everybody say bye, Patricia. See you tomorrow. Here we go. Damn, what is up? Oh yeah, no, I mean like no. If I do some short, I could do like a short video. I could do a short video that ain't really nothing to it. I'm talking about like when I'm really making a video or like not no podcast. Nothing that takes any real thought. I can't do that. I could do a little short nothing video though. I've done that before. But if it's like something serious where I really got to be breaking something down and really need to be on my shit, I can't do that. But our bird is not here, y'all. The bird is not here. Yeah, I'll be a shadow. I'm trying to let the Wi-Fi before I move. I'm trying to let the Wi-Fi catch up because it's still really not acting right. I'm just trying to see where I need to be at. Let's try this. Let's try this right here. It's not all good, Yari. Thanks for the support. Definitely appreciate it. We are a growing family. Y'all know these lives gonna be crazy when the actual trials start. May 5th, and then I think they doing like it's really gonna get ramped up when they even start doing jury selection because I think jury selection or something they doing like the end of April. I gotta look up what that is, but it's something going on at the end of April. I got two phones. What is a new phone gonna do? It ain't the phone. I'm in Puerto Rico. The Wi-Fi and all that is out here is different. I got too many phones. I wish it was a new phone or new Wi-Fi. It's just Puerto Rico. If you come to Puerto Rico, ain't none of that. I could tell ain't nobody in here ever lived on no island. I need somebody who live on islands that know about islands, because y'all a bunch of city people. You know, on islands, they don't got the Wi-Fi ain't like y'all in the city. It's a little bit different here on Puerto Rico. They don't got that Wi-Fi. They don't use that Wi-Fi that's giving people cancer. They don't use that in Puerto Rico. That super powerful Wi-Fi that's making people ear fall off. They use the regular old school Wi-Fi, just like the food here. It's not all them preservatives. It's the regular old school food that we used to get. Actually, bread still molds in Puerto Rico. If you leave bread out, it still molds the same day, which lets you know it's like real food without all those preservatives. I leave a loaf of bread. When I was in Atlanta, I could leave a loaf of bread open on the counter overnight and it wouldn't have a lick of mold on it. My uncle told me that's how you know that shit ain't no real food, because mold don't even want to fuck with it. Except for Amy, everybody else except for Amy, y'all some city folks. Y'all got that strong Wi-Fi, but y'all better be careful with them Wi-Fi, with them Wi-Fi rays. They might be a little bit too powerful. Y'all know this country is crazy. Oh yeah, I love Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico. I don't care. Hey, look, I deal with the Wi-Fi, because outside the Wi-Fi, it can't compare. I've lived in Atlanta. I'm from Cleveland. Lived in Las Vegas. I lived on the West Coast. I've lived everywhere. Ain't nothing comparing to Puerto Rico for a lot of reasons. The food is good. It's quality. It feels like the 90s. Puerto Rico feel like the 90s or early 2000s, except with all the new technology. That's what it feels like. From the food to the people to the vibes, it gives me like 90s, 2000 vibe. But like I said, with all the new technology, the new apps and the new whatever. So that's what I like about Puerto Rico. It kind of give me like, y'all know, we all missed the 90s and the early 2000s. Puerto Rico give me that feel. But it got beaches, good weather. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I don't give a damn. I deal with the Wi-Fi before I go back into Atlanta. Man, why is it doing this though? Yeah, Amy. Yeah, the 90s and the 2000s, like the 90s when they didn't use preservatives and all the food, and McDonald's still used, like, they were still using real hamburger meat back in the 90s. In the 90s in Cleveland, fast food they were still using real meat. They don't use it no more. Out here, this food is different. This ain't like even like a McDonald's, just to say. I ain't even talking about just the high-end food. I'm talking about McDonald's. McDonald's here is like McDonald's back in the 80s and 90s. It don't taste like that McDonald's y'all eat or any of those restaurants y'all eat. And people used to tell me that, but I didn't realize it until I came myself. I'm like, oh, it's a big difference. I'm not just making that up. It's a huge difference. Something up with that American food, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me being in Puerto Rico, restaurants, grocery store food is fresher. It don't have all those preservatives in there that we use in the States. I love it. Yeah, back when stuff was real. Exactly. That's the biggest difference. Here in Puerto Rico, they still use real food. And it's crazy because you know the difference immediately. And you be like, damn, this is how food used to taste. Like I said, immediately I knew when I left bread on the counter and in that same night it was molded. I'm like, oh, this different. This how it used to be when I was a kid. Remember when we was kids, stuff used to mold. You know what I mean? The food was real. Now, all the food is plastic. All right, we moving right along, y'all. I don't know why it's saying my thing low, but Apple and Spotify is processing now. There you go. I'm glad. That's why I love my crew, because y'all always catch on and y'all be peeping the same stuff I peep. Read this comment, y'all. Now the chicken you cook and it doesn't even bleed. Now over here in Puerto Rico, you get chicken from here and you cook it, it's gonna bleed. And I think it's because by them being a separate, being separate, even though they part of the United States, they still their own country in a way and their own culture. I think they like the other places overseas. They like, we're not going for all that super preservative fake stuff over here. I love it, y'all, for real. Like we them boys just said, you cook chicken over there in the States, it don't even bleed no more. Back in the day, it used to bleed. So yeah, come on out to Puerto Rico, y'all. Come to Puerto Rico. Yeah, okay, so I'm glad you broke that down, Amy. So Amy says what's happening is they putting crap in the feed. They putting crap in the feed. Check it out. My bird, my boo gone though. My little birdie, she hung out with me last night. And I guess since we kicked it last night, she didn't come back in the morning. She acting funny. Oh, you talking about DR? Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, y'all, that make a lot of sense, Amy. So they putting stuff in the feed, and that's what's fucking our food up. Yeah, I like it out here. That's why I say, y'all, people used to tell me about Puerto Rico and the food and this and that, and I thought they was exaggerating. And it was talking about like the difference between like the food here and the food like where I was at in Atlanta or Cleveland or wherever. And now that I've been out here myself, oh, they wasn't lying. Like I said, of course, the 5-star, 4-star, and 3-star restaurants is big difference. But you could break it down all the way down to Burger King or Wendy's. You get Wendy's in Puerto Rico, it's gonna taste like real food. It ain't gonna taste like the Wendy's and the McDonald's and the Burger King in the States. It's totally different. It makes me, I ain't gonna lie, when I eat food, it make me think back in the 90s. Like, oh, this how shit used to taste. This how stuff used to taste. Somebody playing some salsa music somewhere. They be thinking I'm Puerto Rican sometimes, or they be thinking I'm from the DR or something. I'm like, I'm just black. I'm just black. I'm blackity black, blackity black. Yep, there you go. See y'all. Hey, look, y'all getting it. You see what Yari said. That's why when you leave the islands to come back in the U.S., they ask you if you're bringing any food or any seeds or plants. You need to get permission to do that in some places. It's illegal. I'm telling y'all, that is the biggest reason why I love the weather. I love the people. I love the vibe. But the thing I love most is I'm eating real food out here. That's what I love most about Puerto Rico. The food, because you know what? You don't realize it, but you eat food. I'm talking about grocery store food or restaurant food. You eat food all day long. So it's kind of like, I really feel good that like I'm eating real food now. It's like healthier for me. It's been good for my skin, everything. So yeah, fuck the Wi-Fi. Hey, look, I'm going to deal with the Wi-Fi. It's too much other stuff outside of the Wi-Fi that I don't want no parts of. I don't want no hamburger. I don't want no hamburger or no fry that if you leave it out for 3 months, it's gonna look exactly like it did when it came from McDonald's. I don't know if y'all ever seen any of those TikToks or YouTube where they put like a McDonald's fries and they left it in the car seat for like a month or 2 months, and those fries and that burger look exactly the same as it did when they bought it, except it's harder. No mold, no decay, no nothing. What are we putting in our body, y'all? What are we putting in our body that can food that can sit outside for months and months and months and never change? And we eating that shit. Imagine our body trying to break it down. So Amy said when there was a sickness in chickens last time, we stopped feeding food from the man company that produced food. Went back to growing food. Our animals didn't get sick. I totally believe it, Amy. I totally believe it. Ain't that crazy? Very, 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 very crazy. But yeah, so that's my story. That's why I like it out here. That's the main reason. I like the food. Oh yeah, many me say chocolate. She don't like. She said I ain't supposed to say blackity black, blackity black. So I'm gonna say I'm chocolate. Many me said she don't like when I say I'm blackity black, blackity black. Yeah, yeah. Island food tastes better. I noticed that. Check that out, y'all. What Gina just brought to the table. She said she used to work for an ice cream plant, and if you leave the ice cream cone out all night, it won't melt. Gina, I noticed the same thing when I was in the States. Because I remember one time I had ordered something. It was like an ice cream thing I bought with it. And I fucked around and I left my ice cream on the counter. And I didn't know that. I was like, damn, they forgot my ice cream. As a matter of fact, I reported that they forgot it. I forgot that I left it on the counter. I go back up to the counter. I see the bag. I said, oh, I know this shit melted. That ice cream wasn't even melted at all. I'm like, what type of ice cream don't melt after being out for hours? And the craziest part is I still ate that shit. That ice cream was good. I don't know what it was made out of, but so Gina, I know exactly what you're talking about. I want my food to mold. I want my food to melt. I want my chicken to bleed. I want my beef to bleed. I want my meat. I want my meat to be. I don't want my meat to be colored pink. I want my meat to be what it's supposed to really, what it really looks like. Not real at all. Jennifer got eggs. Okay, I'm gonna get to Melody too. Jennifer got something to say. Y'all need to try Brahms ice cream. They're only in Oklahoma and surrounding states. They have their own farm and make the best ice cream. It's basically farm to table, but in fast food form. Oh, sweet. Definitely gotta try that, Jennifer. That's right up my alley. Fast farm food. Yep, no Diddy. You know I said no Diddy 1,000 times in my head when I said I want my meat pink. I want my meat real. No Diddy. like Darcy said, I love all races and colors. Hey, Gina, with me, I definitely want to go back to old school food. I told you that's what I really like about Puerto Rico is I'm getting that 90s food, that 80s food. When you went to the grocery store in the 80s and 90s, that's the type of food you're getting out here in Puerto Rico. Thank you, we them boys for the no Diddy help. Let's see if Apple and Spotify. Oh, cool. Apple and Spotify is finally loaded, y'all. Let me put the little title on it. Who's getting cooked today? Diddy edition. Hey, one of the titles that it gave me as a suggestion, it said, "Who's getting cooked today?" Diddy edition. I guess do I really be cooking folks like that? Even the damn AI or whatever they use said I'm cooking people. I be cooking people like that. Where even the damn software, even the software tell me I should name it cooking folks. This Flo's Kitchen then. Welcome to Flo's Kitchen, where we cook motherfuckers. Let's see, publish. Apple and Spotify is ready to go, y'all. Let's see. Apple and Spotify is ready to go. Everything is all good. Let's get the I'm outs in the chat. Y'all show Yari how we exit. Everybody hit them with the I'm outs. Show Yari how we exit the after show. After the show, it's the after party, and after the party, it's the hotel lobby, and I'm out. She said, Orlando, Kelly's ice cream is a spot. I'm good. Hey, yeah, I like that. Yo, I'm good. Yes, you are, Luna. Luna, you so good. We about to get out of here. Catch us tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. More news. Got some announcements. Oh, I had meant to tell y'all, Facebook just put me in this new Facebook monetization program. It don't come out till August 31st, but I'm in it now. So that's good news. I meant to tell y'all that earlier on the show. I forgot. So shout out to everybody on Facebook that been watching my content, sharing my content, because now Facebook done put me in the premier monetization program. I'll let y'all know how it goes. I just got in it yesterday, so we'll see how it goes. But thanks to all my Facebook family. I just opened up my phone to put some new content on Facebook, and it said, hey, you've been invited to the brand new content monetization program. It doesn't drop till August 31st, but we want you in early. So thank you to everybody, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Apple, Spotify. We just everywhere, y'all. So I'm out. I see y'all tomorrow. Oh yeah, I've been on 1,000. All right, y'all. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Jennifer, Yari, We Them Boys, Kobe Wants to Shinobi, Luna, Winnie Me, Lauren, Gina, let's see, Melody, C Tuck, my boy. I think I got pretty much everybody. If I missed you, let me know I missed you, and I'll make sure I say it tomorrow. Bye.